even I didn't expect to have this press con today, but I'm really excited to see all of you. Thank you for being here and for supporting us, and for continuing to support me and show me love. So thanks everyone for being here. I hope you're full. Did you eat?
Okay, this
One is tagline 360 under Jovi Rabelas. They hosted this event. And for the rest of our investors, ABS-CBN International, represented by Maridel Hernandez over there. Our executive producer who flew in from New York just to be here for this event, Jonah Tajonera of J3 Marketing. Also, our associate producer, Anna Mancawas of Lux Slim over there. Thank you so much for coming. So, yeah, about Asian Persuasion, actually our cast from New York and LA are on Zoom already.
Oh, wow.
Yes, medyo midnight na doon, but you know, they want to be a part of it. Just FYI, we just got our SAG-AFTRA approval to do this press event this 3 a.m. Okay, kaya yung sabi ni Casey that this is not supposed to happen because if we not get the SAG-AFTRA approval, walang actors dito. So that speaks volume on our film, you know, that we were given this special accommodation that our actors can now freely endorse and promote our film. Kaya sila nandito. And yung nandun dito sa Zoom. So about Asian Persuasion, it is just, you know, an acute, I would say, acute script that Mike Ang, an engineer by profession who grew up in the Bay Area, it's about this down on his luck chef and just signed off on a divorce papers and did not even get a lawyer to represent him. And of course, that's Dante Basco, the chef, and then the wife is KC. And I love this film because it's women empowerment. And I'd like to bring that here to the Philippines also na bagong concept.
Kaya ganito yung dress ko.
Pagtali
Talagang
mo.
fierce female and ready lumaban.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah. Well, I think from here we can start with, I wanna talk to our cast and Mike. I'm sorry. The Zoom. Yeah. Well, we can start with Casey while they're still queued in to come in, because I want Casey to share maybe about what made you say yes to this film. How was your experience on set, on the SAG-AFTRA set, and yeah, and how is it to be back?
Okay, may question po ako. Tagalog po ba to or English? Is it really a real question po? Should I lang?
I think Taglish is
Taglish,
okay, because we have people from New York and
Can they hear me now?
Hollywood. Yeah, they're listening, so they might not understand.
Yeah. Okay, so hindi po ako hindi ko po in-expect talaga that I would be doing my very first international and American film at that. And of course, I have Jhett to thank for browsing through my Instagram and seeing my kakikayan, for seeing my reel and thinking of me for the role of Avery. I really believe in hindi naman destiny, but you know, there are certain things that are for us, whether in relationships or at work, projects, and I've waited long enough. You know, my last TV show or appearance na nag-host ako was Binibining Pilipinas 2016, the year after P Awards back won. So after that, I took a step back and then I focused on my jewelry brand. And then excited ako kasi it was a new endeavor for me, a new project for me. And then sabi ko, okay, babalik na ako kasi my life's not complete without coming back to be on screen, to be with everybody, to see all of you. But for some reason, the year for me is 2023 to do some kind of comeback, to get back on screen and see you all again. And I could not have chosen a better project than this movie. It's also my very first SAG film. I was always, lagi kong naririnig po yung mga kwento po ng mga nakapag-Hollywood na, kung gaano rin kaganda yung treatment sa set, kung gaano kakaiba yung experiences ng mga artista doon. And na-experience ko din po thanks to Jhett and the movie that's actually SAG accredited. So, getting to know all these actors. Hi guys! Can you hear me? Ayan po, pinapanood ko lang po yan si Kevin Kreider sa Bling Empire. Siya po yung Korean na model doon. And then Paolo Montalban.
So sad. She bounced like 2 minutes before the scene.
Oh my God, nagchichikahan sila. O later na ikit ako. Wait lang ha. Guys, I'm working. Shh, quiet. Ayan. So it was a very happy experience po. And you're welcome to ask me what you would like para po I can share with you.
Yeah, introduce ko lang, that's on the Zoom call. We have Mike Ang, a civil engineer by profession, but during the pandemic, he wrote the script. And I was editing in his studio in Brooklyn, and he just told me one day, Jhett, I have a script for you to read. So that's Mike. Mike, can you hear us?
We're live.
It's almost 1 a.m. in New York. So, and also, yeah.
Paging Kevin Kreider.
Yeah, Mike, can you hear us?
Paging Kevin Kreider.
Paging Kevin Kreider.
You want to give him
Yeah.
a call, Paolo? You want me for me? How I came up with the script? Oh, okay, yes. Happy to talk about that. So I was going through a divorce a few years ago, and I was, kind of feeling all the feels about going through a divorce, and it was kind of catharsis for me to put it down on paper and write something about it. And my natural tendency is to kind of write things in comedy and just kind of laugh things away. And so I ended up coming up with this crazy idea for the movie, and I just sat down and I wrote a script. And it just came to me pretty quickly. I finished it in about 2.5 months, and I didn't really know what to do with it until Jhett came along and brought this whole thing to life, and then brought these wonderful other people that were my cast and crew that are part of my family now, who really made this thing happen, and I couldn't be happier.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for that. I just have to say Dante is in his honeymoon. He just got married, so he is in China currently, so we can't bother him. I'd like to go to Paolo. Paolo, thank you. And how was the process filming with the rest of you?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you so much for having all of us, Manila Press Association, and Jhett, it's so good to hear your voice. And KC, miss you.
Miss you!
Yeah, miss you.
So nice to hear you too. So the process of being involved with this incredible project was that my dear friend Jhett Tolentino, you may or may not know, he's very famous in the producing and directing world. He said that he was working on this film written by his friend Mike Ang, and would it be okay for him to send me the script? So I'm talking about you, Jhett. So Jhett sent me the script, and I'm reading this script, and the name of the character that I was being considered for was Lee Kwan Prince. I don't know if you remember this, Mike, but the last name of that character was Prince, and the thing that I've been mostly known for in my career was actually playing Prince Christopher, Prince Charming in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. But on top of that, he wrote down in the description that Lee Kwan Prince was 47 years old, and at the time that I was reading that script, I was 47 years old. So it really felt like Mike, who I'd never met before in my life, wrote this role for me. The role of Lee is he's on paper charming and a great catch, but incredibly awkward. And I actually think that I am also very incredibly awkward and I'm working on being charming in life. But when I found out that Dante Basco was attached to the film, I said, oh my God, what are the chances of this? Dante and I were friends in Los Angeles. We came up together. And and whenever we hung out, we were like, well, we're never gonna work with each other because they can only hire one Asian leading man in whatever project they're doing. So we'll never get this opportunity. And here it was, so many years later in New York City, that Jhett and Mike brought this incredible cast together. And when I say this incredible cast, that's just the tip of the iceberg, truly.
Thank you, Paolo. Thank you so much. In Philippines, so he'll come here for our premiere in November. It'll be his first time in the Philippines. Kevin, tell us, how did you get this part and what made you say yes to it, and the process and the production?
Sure. Jhett Tolentino, like many girls, slid in my DMs and actually asked me if I wanted to be an actor. And I was like, yeah, I studied acting a long time ago and I'd love to pursue it again. And I think him and Mike saw my TV show on Netflix and they're like, oh, this is the guy, this is Caspian. And I don't know if that's a compliment or not though, guys. Like, I really don't. But they just said, yeah, we'd love to have you a part in, kind of like Paolo, I saw Dante was taking the lead role, and Jhett also knew my manager, Chris, and it was just a Filipino community right away, which was awesome. And then, Casey and I, we actually knew each other from LA when she was here after, during the pandemic. We just bumped into each other a few times. And the process was pretty interesting because immediately once I got the script, easy to read, read over it a few times, and I had no idea it was going to take so long to film, so I started memorizing things right away. And then it was just like, Jhett, what are we filming? He's like, oh, well, it might be in a year. I was like, a year? What do you mean? But it was quicker than a year, which is cool. And then when I came to New York City, it was great meeting the cast. Dante and I met in Los Angeles, but just casually, just through friends and stuff. And so when we knew we were going to be working together, we just clicked really well. We went to dinners together. Apollo, I know we went out to dinner a little bit.
Kahit po, this is my first, well, not my first movie na not an ABS-C or a network project, but ramdam na ramdam ko yung presensya ng ABS-CBN sa performance ko kasi dyan talaga ako natuto dito po sa atin sa Pilipinas. So hopefully po I get to experience more of it, but really being in New York was the biggest surprise of my life. Previous to this, I went there for an event in December for an HBO Max premiere. And so sabi ko, oh, ito pala, ganito pala dito. And little did I know, just a few weeks later, I would get a call while I was in Los Angeles po from Jhett asking me to fly to New York and live there for a few months for work. So I wasn't really thinking na ito na yung magiging first project ko ulit after a while. But thank you, Jhett. I accidentally fell into this film. And even if English po siya, kwento rin ng isang masasabing pamilyang Pilipino na laking Amerika. So it's also part of us kasi tao natin yun kababayan natin yan sila kahit po nandun na sila sa Amerika, and lagi po silang tumitingin kung ano nang nangyayari dito and gusto po nila dalhin doon. So it's a nice way to bring the two worlds together, and of course everyone else here is Asian American, even our crew, even the soundtrack, yung mga artists, the musicians and everything. So not only is it a Filipino American celebration, or a celebration of the Filipino American, but also Asian Americans. Usong-uso po ngayon yan, and thankfully, so I'm glad to be in this era or this generation kung saan tanggap na po ang Asian at ang Pilipino sa international scene.
So, si Paolo ang parang husband mo ba sa movie?
Paolo, are you my husband in this film?
Then, Monday at SM Cinemas 1 and 2. Okay, we will send you the invite. And then we will also take the premiere on tour. We have a premiere in Cebu, November 29, a Wednesday. And then we have a premiere in Iloilo City, because it's my hometown, December 1. And we're arranging some special screenings with the UP Film Center and also Pampanga on December 5th. I'll meet the governor actually when I get back next week. Yeah.
Yeah, nice din yan, Jhett, for families ng mga OFW na nasa Amerika.